Hello everyone and welcome to Scrap News. Today we'll be looking at Devblog 25. Let's jump right in, and immediately, as you can see, we have a lot of new bots. Calling all mechanics. We're back after spending the last few months in the content mines. It's time for us to report on our latest progress. While we'd love to show off details from the next chapter, it's getting increasingly harder to do so without spoilers. But rest assured, you'll get to see all of it on release. That's why we decided to do a bot review special for this devlog instead. So here's a peek at just some of the new bots. So right out of the bat, we have the yellow toad bot, which is looking insanely cool. It has piston-like plates on the top and bottom, suspension on its legs, and don't miss this, a weird little hook thing. And here is the bot in action. As you can see, it jumps high up in the air and slumps down back at you. And it seems it can really do a lot of damage to your buildings. I mean, just look at this. This guy just jumps up and down immediately and destroys everything. Especially this gif right here shows it very well. Everything goes completely wrong. And here as well. The house just gets completely demolished. Get ready to readjust your base walls or crank your vehicle's engine a bit higher when you see this new bolt jumping into the scene. Originally designed as a fully autonomous power tool, the yellow toadbot has since gone renegade. Now it stomps its way across the planet, eager to flatten any mechanic it sees, no matter how many ceilings and floors it has to smash in the process. Next up, the blue toadbot. Just we can see has a fin on its back, as well as some flippers and a Christmas a drill. Here's the bot in action. You can see it has a very nice swimming animation. I think it's slightly different from the normal bots. Ooh, you can actually see that the drill also has a propeller in there. Very cool. Very smart stuff. Here's the bot chasing a player. It seems to be basically a torpedo. Man, those animations are just insane. They're so good. Oh, and it seems to be above average speed on land as well, which I'm not sure I like. I feel like it kind of makes the green toadbot obsolete. And also I feel like they would just be better kept in water, you know, since they're obviously supposed to be a water-kept enemy. Just when you thought it was safe to get back in the water. Originally designed for offshore drilling, the blue toadbot has since decided to become an underwater torpedo instead, just like I said a second ago. To make matters worse, it can also move fast enough on land to catch up with any mechanic that aggravate it. So watch out where you dive. And next up, the red toadbot, which we've already seen before, but not in action yet. It's basically a creeper from Minecraft. However, it is extremely fast on land, as you can see, which is something that's really worrying me. I'm gonna get to that in a second though. Oh, actually, in this GIF right here, you can also see the clock. And it seems you can actually trigger it with a spot from far away, which is really cool. And here is the issue at hand. You can see just one of them just completely obliterates this truck. Okay, maybe 2 or 3, but still. And it seems they also dropped some kind of an item, but I cannot tell what it is, unfortunately, with this quality. We've teased this clunker before, but we've never shown him in action until now. Originally designed to clear away mine shafts and explosives, some of the red toadbots have since wandered up to the surface. When they encounter a mechanic, they will ignite their payload before rushing at their target. And they won't stop until they've reduced their target, or anything standing in their way, to smithereens. Now, I have one huge problem with those toadbots. They are super cool in design and everything, but I'm afraid that this is just going to destroy people's creations over and over again. In my opinion, that's just unfortunately bad game design. Like, I get it that they have to be able to destroy a farm to get in and, like, you know, actually cause damage. But at the same time, if you're just driving around with your truck, you shouldn't have to worry about just getting your brand new truck you spent hours building completely destroyed by a bot. I guess the ability to save creations on the lift in survival would somewhat mitigate this issue. However, this does not extend to static creations or, you know, those welded to the ground. So there's a very weird issue here that I'm not sure what will be the best way to solve it. I just hope that MacLeod notices it and fixes it in some way. Anyway, moving on, we have a brand new Tabot, which seems to be spawning in some kind of an underground, overgrown facility. And wow, that's a lot of stickers. Green Tabot. Once, this unassuming clanker would only bubble wrap fruits and veggies, until the latest firmware update made it run amok. Armed with a roll of weaponized bubble plastic, it might not pack much of a punch by himself, but a bunch of them can ruin any mechanic's day. So basically, I'm assuming that this is gonna be a very different approach to Tabots. Right now, the Tabots deal a lot of damage in every single shot. I feel like those are not gonna deal a lot of damage. In fact, they are gonna deal very little damage. but instead they're gonna maybe shoot in a special way, maybe appear in larger groups, something along those lines, you know. Which I really like this idea. This is very interesting. And with the bubble plastic theme, I wonder if this facility is perhaps like a chemical refining facility. Because chemicals do seem to be related to like fertilizer and stuff. We can see those giant chemical special exotic plants, which are commonly found around the small little silos. And we can also see what seems to be pipes transporting chemicals up to the ceiling. And by the way, just look at that lighting over there. That's just so nice. Oh, and here we have another variation of the Tabot, which seems to be some kind of a painter bot. And this also looks a lot like something that you'd make with chemicals, just saying. Here it is in the game. And there's a huge tree behind him, which seems to not have any leaves. That's very interesting. There's another angle with a very cool looking animation. And now I want to drink whatever he has in his backpack. Here's how he's gonna work. He's gonna shoot weird sticky goo at you and make you slow down a lot. Through the description, an elegant bot for a civilized age. That's a Star Wars reference, very nice. The yellow Tabot was perfectly harmless, designed to keep everything neat and tidy in storages by painting labels with its special 4-color ink. Following the disastrous firmware update that made it run amok, however, this clunker has found a new purpose. Now it uses the same sorting ink to hurt and slow down any mechanic it sees. Now this makes me wonder if perhaps it's gonna shoot 4 different projectiles that are gonna have different, you know, effects on the player. Maybe one is gonna be more damaging, one is gonna slow you down, and so on and so forth. I feel like that would be definitely a very interesting game mechanic. But speaking of backpacks, I'm gonna skip ahead a little here. Everything in this devlog doesn't matter except for one thing. This gorgeous backpack. I need to have one of those IRL as merchandise, guys. I need a corn backpack. Look at this, so cool. Introducing the wackiest outfit we've made so far. The walk outfit, complete with a corn cob themed back. Might not be up to professional regulation standards, but it sure is a welcome change from all that stuffy workwear. What do you think? Will you rock this outfit? Let us know. And listen guys, I really do love this outfit, but there's just one that just takes the cake. Here we go. This, like Ant-Man looking glowbug costume from a while ago. I cannot wait to put this on. Okay, but let's get back on track. Here's another image of this weird facility we've seen before. There's a battery laying on the ground, probably from one of the Tabots, and you can also see more of those chemical kind of tubes. Here's another angle, and now I wonder if we'll be able to pick up those plants and plant them somewhere else. I would absolutely love that. And man, just look at all the lights playing around with each other, it's crazy. Here is another picture with the new Tabots, and surprisingly also this little bugger right here. So I wonder if they just put him here like to show off the new stuff, or if he's actually gonna be found down here. And I also wonder what this is, because this looks to be like some kind of a container. Kind of reminds me of either the explosive or the bot container. Kind of like a merger of the two. Here we also have a quick gif of just walking around in the area. There seems to be some clean water here, maybe not just chemicals. And here's another clip of fighting with the different bots. Yeah, I assume the bubble plastic bots are not gonna deal us much damage, but combined with being slowed down by one of the painting bots, this can be really hard, because you won't even be able to really dodge them. Grow labs! Ruin runs are great, but we've been working hard on populating the game world with additional cool places to explore and loot during the course of your survival mode adventure. One of those places are the underground grow labs. Fit to burst with green and yellow Tabots, these little dungeons offer exciting combat and some cool plunder at the end for those that venture inside of them. Now I'm not seeing the blue Tabots mentioned here, maybe that was just a show off after all. And now we have this interesting little thing, which is decently large, but not too large, which is an ore prospector. Get more out of your ore with this latest addition to the game, the ore prospector. A machine designed both for mechanics that love to build automated crafting chains, as well as those that like to do things manually. With its help you will be able to filter the finely ground gravel produced by the ore crusher in order to retrieve rare materials like gold and more. So I'm assuming this right here is the ore crusher, and then it feeds materials into those things. then filter the material from this using water to get more stuff out of it. Also, this wall right here looks very interesting, kind of like as if it was destructible or something. Oh my god, they added ray tracing to scrap mechanic. No, but seriously, look at how cool the glass will look now. It like refracts the light and everything. And here we have some more showcase with the capsules as well. Overall, I'm really liking this. We haven't just been working on scrap mechanics content. After introducing the new and improved lighting system we mentioned in the last devlog, our elite team of graphic engineers have been working on updating the game's visuals according to modern standards. This time we're excited to introduce our newest glass shader, which allows in-game glass to shine and distort like the real thing. So your buildings, vehicles and other creations can look even better than before. And that's just one of the graphical updates we've got in the works. Now we've got another thing right here, and I'm gonna be honest, not a huge fan of the design of this thing. I feel like it just looks very out of place in vanilla. It kind of looks like something you'd find in like Fant mod or something. However, the description is actually very cool. General rebalance and item schematics. We have also been working hard on rebalancing survival mode's gameplay, specifically the crafting recipes and how items are obtained during the course of the game, so the gameplay can flow better than ever before. Our latest addition to scrap mechanics features are schematics. When found, these collectible items will allow your craft boss to create additional items. Furthermore, we've been focusing on changing the way farming raids work, while reworking the existing hunger and hydration bars to be less annoying. More on this later. Now, I feel like balance is something that the original release of Survival really struggled with. For example, having to stare at the ground, just holding the refined button for a few first hours of the game, just in my opinion isn't very nice gameplay. So I'm glad the devs are paying a lot of attention to rebalancing this time around. And finally, next chapter update, which is not a very good part of the devblog. At the risk of sounding like a broken bot, while we still don't have an exact release date for the next chapter, we are still aiming for this year. It's worth mentioning that the next chapter has turned into a behemoth of an update with a ton of new content. We remain confident it will be worth the wait. We know it can be frustrating and boring, but we have to make sure it's great. That's it for the devlog mechanic. Stay tuned for the next one. Now, this is where I'm getting really worried that unfortunately a lot of people are just not gonna wait for the next devlog. Now, since my last scrap news, Scrap Mechanic have tweeted this on Twitter, which is exactly as I predicted in the last scrap news, by the way. However, if we look down here, everyone seems to be very annoyed about how the devs have been keeping completely quiet for such a long time. It's just this, these, just look how many there are. Here's more. And in general, just a lot of people are done with the very infrequent updates to the game. And by updates, I don't mean actual updates you can download and play. I feel like myself and most other people are extremely annoyed by having to wait an entire quarter for the devs to even speak. This is a huge problem with the game, and after waiting for so long with complete silence from them once again, I am worried that a lot of people just aren't gonna care for another "don't worry, it's soon guys" statement about the next update. After such a long time of silence, a lot of people just unfortunately already expect something to be close. You can see that even Khan is concerned about the game and is expressing his disappointment, because that's the same feeling I am feeling actually. I feel like he put it very well here and in a very nice way that a lot of other people just don't seem to have the patience for, or maybe they just don't think about, just throwing stuff out there on the internet. Because a lot of those comments are very mean. So unfortunately, I'm really worried about the game's future now that we got another "it's soon guys" statement. Because I feel like there's just not gonna be many people around to enjoy Chapter 2 once it finally releases. And I'm not trying to whine here that it's taking a lot of time, because I just want the game that I dedicated so many years of my life to do well, because I think that the game itself deserves it for sure. It just feels like it's so close, but for some reason Axel just won't listen to us. Maybe they have some kind of a good reason we don't know of. Now, if you look on SteamDB, like I mentioned in the last scrap news, the local branch updates kind of stop, as you can see. However, we have seen devs actually play on this branch because it showed up on Steam. So me and a few other people are theorizing that maybe they are recording the trailer for Chapter 2. But now that they didn't give any kind of estimate even, I'm worried that might not be the case yet. I guess we will see. But right now, as you can see, the active player base has gone really down, to the point where it's around pre-survival levels, which just honestly makes me really sad after playing this game for over 7 years. But unfortunately, I guess all you can do is just hope for the best. Anyway, let me know down below what's your favorite part of the devblog, or you can discuss it with me and other people in my Discord server. Subscribe so you don't miss the next scrap news. I was the DartFrog, and I hope to see you in another one. Goodbye!